Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. I told y'all this case was a hot mess for the history books. I mean, a real piece of work. But anyways, now, despite what everybody thinks, how everybody feels, who mocked her and laughed at her about it, we all should know by now that Meg the Stallion did get shot. We all know that. Now, we all thought it was Tory Lanez because, remember, that's who she did name first. She said that he was the one who shot her. So we all thought it was Tory Lanez. Now, allegedly, Meg the Stallion has a drinking problem. Allegedly. And this entire debacle was brought on by bad decisions and alcohol. But we're not going to go there. Like I said, allegedly, she has a drinking problem. Allegedly, that night, she had been drinking. And she was so drunk that she had become hard to deal with. Aggressive, if you will. She was, in fact, probably so drunk that she doesn't even remember, possibly allegedly, what actually took place that night. Or she doesn't remember all of it. The only two people who were sober enough that night to remember what happened, who could actually tell us what happened because they either saw it or were in close enough proximity to be able to see something, one of which was actually scheduled to testify, was the driver and maybe her bodyguard. But of course, both of them are still missing at the moment, which is ironic and crazy. But there was a ram in the bush, if you will, a witness who happened to live in the neighborhood who saw, ironically, the entire commotion go down outside his window. He testified that he saw two women fighting, which we're assuming was Megan and Kelsey. So yes, they were fighting. More than likely, allegedly, the speculation assumptions was that Meg went to the party. This is after Kelsey had found out allegedly she was sleeping around with Tory Lanez after Kelsey had gotten involved with him, and that she wanted to mess around with Kylie Jenner. But that all backfired because Tory Lanez was messing with Kylie Jenner. Of course, like I said, she had been drinking a lot. That didn't help. They all got into a fight. They all went outside. Like I said, the witness said he saw Megan and Kelsey fighting. He didn't identify them by name, but he said he saw two women fighting. Then he said he saw a muzzle flash go off by one of the women. Everybody's assuming it was Kelsey. For all we knew, it could have been Megan. We don't know yet. He didn't actually identify yay or nay. He just said he saw a muzzle flash go off by one of the women after they had went to the car to grab something, I guess. A gun, I'm assuming. Then Tory Lanez comes into the picture. Apparently him, both of the girls, and the driver all were getting into this big fight. Somewhere along the way, Tory Lanez grabbed the gun and shot 4 to 5 times in the air. That has remained consistent. Although we're all trying to figure out where in between, before or after him firing 4 to 5 shots in the air for whatever reason, which they think it was to break the fight up to begin with, when he actually shot Meg. Now, everybody has been talking about how there was allegedly gunshot residue on both Kelsey and Tory Lanez. Even more came out. This witness said that he saw, like I said, all of them fighting, and that they actually jumped one of the girls. Everybody's assuming it's Meg the Stallion. He didn't say which. He just said that they jumped one of the girls and that they basically drug her off, and he thought that they were going to throw her into the river, but that they stopped and then put her in the Escalade, the Jeep, whatever, instead. Now, that's very disturbing and concerning. So what people are alleging and thinking now is that they all jumped Meg, even though we don't know definitely that the woman who he said that they carried off was Meg, because he couldn't really see from that far away. He could just see them fighting. But everybody thinks that basically they jumped Meg after Kelsey tried to shoot her, because he said gun flash, muzzle flash went off by one of the women. Everybody's assuming that it was Kelsey that shot her. Everybody's confused because they don't understand why she didn't just say, if that was the case, that Kelsey shot her and then she tried to pin it on Tory Lanez instead. Maybe she was mad at him for something. That's why people kept asking about her relationships, because it all played a part in this. And what in the world were they doing during this fight? And that if they actually did try to throw her in the river, y'all, that's like attempted murder, basically, allegedly. But like I said, none of them were sober enough to know what was going on. The driver and the bodyguard, nowhere to be found. So That's in the wind. Potential, witness on the stand to clear some of this up. In the wind. Kelsey, being the one who was next to the gun flash when the gun went off, would make sense considering the fact that she did have gunshot residue on her. So I'm gonna be honest, I thought that he actually did shoot her. I thought so. That's what she said. Who was I to second guess her? This is just crazy. I told y'all, every time I say I hope nothing else comes out about this stuff, only the worst comes out. But in summary, we're possibly looking at something completely different now, thanks to this witness that came to the stand. That they all got into a fight about some mess. Like I said, alcohol and bad decisions, I don't care what y'all say, brought them to this conclusion. And if Meg has a problem, she needs to get help. That's all I have to say about that drinking issue. She needs to get help because, quite frankly, this little drinking thing and this bad decision thing is ruining her life. But this is the culture. This is what we sing about. Well, not me. I don't be singing about that stuff. This is what they sing about. This is what they rap about. How can we be shooketh when these kinds of things happen? But anyways, the three of them fighting, the escalation of the fight, the gunshot that went off, the first one, then him shooting 5 times in the air and somewhere in between her getting shot in the foot and not knowing who did it because she was too drunk at the moment. And this was almost 3 years ago and she couldn't remember. The bodyguard and the driver being nowhere to be found because one of them probably didn't want to testify against Tory Lanez and the other one, I don't even know. And the fact that they could have possibly done the worst in that moment. Worse could have happened to her. And the fact that all of them have been lying since day one and destroyed their credibility and just made this case a complete joke and an embarrassment. But anyways, if you like the content that I put out, if you appreciate my videos, please like and subscribe and share them. It would mean a lot to me. I'm thankful for everybody who has liked and subscribed to my channel. And like I said, thank you for everybody for everything that you do. And y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comments below.